The race to the State House in 2027 has truly begun as President Tinubu formally submits his nomination and expression of interest form to the party, that is the All Progressives Congress. While this move was applauded by party faithful across the country, it is not smooth sail for many aspirants at the state level. In other developments, who will challenge the president for the helmsman's position in 2027? One former occupier of the position is being wooed to throw his hat in the ring. We bring details of this and other reports making the headlines on the political scene. My name is Fisayo Ogunfuyi. This is Political Update. Welcome. President Bola Tinubu has expressed his commitment to make Nigeria better by consolidating on his achievements in the last 3 years of the renewed hope stewardship. The president, represented by the Vice President Kashim Shettima, stated this while submitting his nomination and expression of interest forms to the National Working Committee of the All Progressives Congress in Abuja.
It was a gathering of the Progressives family and the renewed hope ambassadors in Abuja to witness this historic event, which is part of the requirements to contest the 2027 general election. Here, Vice President Kashim Shettima, on behalf of President Bola Tinubu, fulfilling one of the requirements for the president's second-term bid.
As he seeks to lead us for another 4-year term, through thick and thin, the president has proved his mettle and has shown the world that his capacity and resolve to pull the nation out of the woes remains unpaced. Indeed, the renewed hope agenda of Mr. President has reflected on many successes of this administration. The socio-economic impacts have been phenomenal in pushing out positive results. The storms of the past years have not diminished him. They have made a fine sailor out of him. He has set this ship through turbulent waters with courage, taking difficult but necessary decisions to stabilize the economy, restore confidence, and prepare Nigeria for a more sustainable future.
Nigeria as a country, people, international communities, were having doubts on our economy. But today, Mr. President, instead of postponing like other leaders who have been using such fiscal reforms as a campaign material for many years, opted to not just make it a campaign, but rather a decision that will make a change in this country.
I have no iota of doubt that if there is one single person we can single out in this country today to say with precision, with guarantee, with confidence that his election is guaranteed, it is Mr. President.
I humbly commit to work assiduously to market our party, market the policies and successes recorded by this administration, and to ride on that to get the public mandate and confidence for Mr. President to be re-elected.
The stakeholders assured that the Tinubu administration is taking the difficult but necessary decisions required to reset Nigeria's economy, expand opportunity, strengthen national productivity, and secure a more sustainable future for Nigerians.
Yours sincerely was at that event yesterday, and some governors spoke to me about the president's stewardship as he marks his 3rd year in office and submits expression of interest form.
Just give us a sense of what is happening today.
Well, it's a privilege and honor to be here to join the company of many distinguished Nigerians to submit the nomination. He is certainly putting in his best to make sure that Nigeria recovers from where he met it and put it on the trajectory of growth and development.
Thank you. The event here today is a solidarity gathering in support of our president to submit his nomination form. He's the #1 citizen of this country and the leader of our party, and which he is. And for us, every members of our party, the Governors Forum, the Parliament, have endorsed him for the second time. And that endorsement came because we saw all that he has been able to do in the last almost 3 years. We can see those things, we can feel them, we can touch them. Is it the NEL fund, loan for students? Is it the infrastructural development? The security that was so bad before now is getting better by the day. And so many other things that the economic policy of the president that has changed the narrative of our nation. Even international relation, you can see all that is working for our country. Nigeria is being regarded now, as a country to be reckoned with among its members, among its peers internationally. All of these because we have a president who is deliberate, intentional, who prepared to lead this nation. And that is exactly what he's doing. So we cannot but give him the mandate to return him for the second time.
All right, that was yesterday, that is Thursday, at the International Conference Center. Our guest for that discussion, Right Honorable Philip Shuaibu, a former Deputy Governor of Edo State, is still being expected. Hopefully he will come in, but we'll probably go to a second conversation quite soon. Former President Goodluck Jonathan says he will embark on wider consultations to decide whether or not he will contest the 2027 presidential election. He disclosed this in Abuja while paying host to a political support group on the banner of the coalition for Jonathan 2027.
This is the second visit of the coalition for Jonathan 2027 to the former president Goodluck Jonathan in 1 month. They went with 3 major requests. 1, for former President Jonathan to make commitment to run the 2027 presidential election, to immediately pick a presidential nomination form of any political party of his choice to contest the election, pledging to join him, and lastly, to offer them the opportunity to again vote for him come 2027.
We, young, old girls and boys, men and women, are all here crying for your voice to say yes to our request. We are asking you, sir, to kindly make a commitment to run for the 2027 presidential election.
Former President Goodluck Jonathan thanked the coalition for their firm belief in the nation's democratic ideals and promised to embark on wider consultations with the broad spectrum of the society before conveying his resolutions to them.
Contesting presidency is not a computer game. I have heard from the young people, I will consult. I cannot just wake up and say I want to be the president of Nigeria again. But I'm telling you that I will consult. If there's need to, fine, I will.
The coalition for Jonathan 2027 is to further relay the outcome of the former president's decision to the public.
All right, moving on. The Independent National Electoral Commission says all complaints emanating from alleged suppression of state constituencies will be carefully looked into towards ensuring fairness and justice. This assurance was given during a peaceful protest to the Commission headquarters by a coalition of civil society organizations, Kogi East, in collaboration with Igala Youth Council.
The peaceful protest is to present a formal statement and to demand that INEC uphold the constitutional integrity of all newly confirmed state constituencies in Kogi East and rejects any attempt to suppress Njema State constituency in Ankpa local government area from the list of 5 newly confirmed constituencies in Kogi East gazetted in 2026.
One of our demands is for INEC to uphold and implement all 8 newly confirmed Kogi East State constituency. Ibadi West, that was suppressed in the past. The Kina North, Ankpa East from 2024, and Njema in the current dispensation, in the recent affirmation, in the recent confirmation, in the recent restoration as the case may be. The Kina Town and districts, Igala Ogba Ogugu, Ife Ogodu from 2026, for the 2027 general election.
INEC National Commissioner Professor Abdullahi Abdul Suru, on behalf of the Commission, disclosed that a recent tour of the country just took place with the aim of correcting imbalances observed in the recent confirmation of gazetted constituencies.
Now received your letter with the demands. I'm assuring you this will be passed to the Commission, and I believe the Commission will look at it and revert back. So we'll look at all the issues alongside what you have presented, and we'll come back not only to you, but to Nigerians.
INEC commended the peaceful and orderly conduct of the protesters, assuring that the Commission will continue to be fair to all.
All right, so our second topic, we've been seeing people submitting their expression of interest and nomination forms at different levels, at national, and of course those going for some state constituencies as well. But not all is a smooth sail in many parties, including the ruling All Progressive Congress. As far as some states are concerned, they don't want consensus, they don't want, and we'll keep on seeing that playing out. Let me, we were speaking to aspirants and party members from Kwara for a couple of weeks, as well as some other states, and the conversations in Benue also began a couple of weeks ago. Let's quickly nip into Nasarawa briefly. Let me welcome very quickly Honorable Mapamala, former member of the State Assembly and spokesperson of that State Assembly. I remember that State Assembly was involved in all kinds of imbroglio at the time. That's right. But now, there have been a pushback back and forth as far as your state is concerned. No anointed candidate yet. That's what some people are saying, while some say there is.
I know. I think anointing, no anointing. Well, the governor took a position as far as the governorship of Nasarawa State is concerned, going into 2027. I think it is in the public domain. It is public knowledge now that His Excellency Engineer Abdullahi Isli has made it very clear that he is supporting Senator Wadada, the senator representing Nasarawa West presently in the Senate. So I think it goes without saying.
Well. Some governors are doing that. So what is the problem? Why is your state different, really? You don't. Why is everybody not on the same page?
Well, why is everybody not on the same page? But if you're a journalist, if you've been watching in the past 2-3 days, you will see that most of the so-called endorsements and consensus in other states, especially in the north, are collapsing. If you look at Gombe is clearly going into direct primaries. If you look at Yobe, just yesterday I was reading somewhere, and it's clear that the position taken by the governor and his benefactor, His Excellency Senator Gaidam, is also collapsing. So I think that we are getting to a point where the electorates are becoming very aware. They are very aware of the fact that democracy belongs to them. Democracy is for the people, by the people. And it is something that should be driven by popular votes. We should be moving away from one person sitting down and anointing a candidate.
Okay, let me cut bottom, since I'm not really from your state. For instance, my state, there are some internal arrangements. My area is lucky this time. It's come to us where we're a little bit of a minority in the state, the southern part of my state in Ondo State. So that is your turn thing. It doesn't come, in terms of at least rotating amongst the constituencies, especially senatorial districts. Does that happen in your state? Is that the position at this time? What exactly is it?
There has been this conversation about zoning in Nasarawa State. The fact that between 1999 and 2007, His Excellency Abdullahi Adamu was the governor, and he hailed from Nasarawa West. And after that, the governorship went to Nasarawa South and was there for 12 years, and eventually came to my zone, which is Nasarawa North. But I can tell you categorically, I think it's already in the public domain. Our stakeholders, our decision makers in the politics of Nasarawa State, they've held series and series of meetings chaired by the governor. This conversation about zoning was at the fore. And I think even from the mouth of the governor himself, he said he was mistaken. He was made to believe that there was zoning. But after the intense deliberations and conversations amongst themselves high up there, he came out and addressed the public and said there is no zone in Nasarawa State. And this is the reason. In 1999, everyone contested for the governorship of Nasarawa State. Zoning presupposes that if there's actually an arrangement where a particular zone is expected to produce the governorship of Nasarawa State, as we're talking, every aspirant to the governorship of that state will come from that zone. We see that happening in Plateau State up till today. And it cuts across political parties.
Okay, let me, since you're a stakeholder,
but it's not the case.
Since you're a stakeholder, that's why I gave you, we've given you an opportunity to also address some of the issues. Since we got some other people in about a couple of weeks ago speaking about this direction and all that. So this is an NTA, we need to balance all. So, give you an opportunity to also, say your part of it fairly. Right. Are the contestants, the aspirants, as we've seen in other states, like Osun State, for instance, coming and saying this is the person we want, we are all withdrawing for this person. Are we likely to see that scenario?
Impossible. At least I can tell you one person that, and he is a forerunner, as far as he's a front runner, rather, as far as the governorship of Nasarawa State is concerned. And he's not from that zone that the governor had made very clear he wants his successor to come from. That is the former Inspector General of Police, IGP.
As far as you're concerned, that's your assertion. We've had a couple of people, coming in. We've had, we've had some withdraw in the past few days as well. Talking about Dr. Faisal and all that. So we'll see how things come up. As the issues continue. But is there any, possibility of some resolution within the party, as we're seeing in other states as well?
As I speak to you, about 4 persons have picked expression of interest and nomination forms from at least 2 different senatorial districts in Nasarawa State, from Nasarawa South and Nasarawa West.
All right, we'll come for,
so the issue of consensus or
we'll come for the
totally out
we'll come for the closing statements. We keep your state has been very interesting. We've taken about 4 or 5 states already, but we'll come back to you again because of the crossfire from different camps. But we'll go on very quickly. Time is not our friend, and take a few other stories. The Tinubu Solidarity Movement has reaffirmed its support for President Bola Tinubu's renewed hope agenda, urging Nigerians to unite behind the administration's reforms aimed at repositioning the country for sustainable growth. National President of the group, Mohammed Sani Akwashiki, said that this while briefing journalists in Abuja.
Had to be a leader to solve the problem, and we found that leadership on President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He remained consistent in all his political ideology, and so we discover also that in Nigerian democracy, President Tinubu is not just the president of Nigeria, he is also the epitome of democracy in Nigeria. So Nigerians, we want to appeal to all Nigerians to understand this, and that the president is doing a lot.
I have no reason whatsoever to doubt that there's going to be a very free and fair contest under the watch of Mr. President, under the watch of INEC, and under the watch of the national chairman of the APC. It's very, very clear for me and to me that this race is going to be very free, very fair, and the winner is going to be a true winner who is voted and liked by the members of the APC.
Okay, very quickly before we go, we have ABC governorship aspirant Oyose Bayo Wasiu Adesina, who has also expressed optimism that the party will conduct a rancor-free primary election that will reflect the will of the party. He stated this shortly after submitting his nomination and expression of interest forms to the party's NWC, saying APC remains a formidable political party that transcends across the nook and crannies of the country with strong political will to drive transformation in all sectors of human endeavor. He expressed determination to provide an all-inclusive governance to transform Oyo State if given the opportunity to fly the party's flag in the 2027 general elections. All right, that is that as far as expression of interest. We continue to express our interest in you being a part of political updaters. So we run towards the business end of the election cycle. I still have Makpamala. What are your expectations in general? People are coming out, masquerades are coming out at the national and sub-national level. You are a politician. You've been in the seat at the state level. How do we go about all this to eliminate rancor and look at a situation where the electoral process will be safe, will be sound, will be free of too much of this crossfire?
Okay, first and foremost, the game should be played according to the rules. We run a multi-party democracy in Nigeria. Our democracy is driven by political parties. Political parties are governed by their constitutions, and their constitutions are driven by the principles contained therein. For example, I'll tell you, maybe let me take my state for an example. The party in my state is on the verge of coercing the structure of the party to move in the direction.
So you claim?
No, it's actually...
Because I saw some protests and all that.
It's actually there in the public domain. There was a meeting held on the 27th of this month, where the state chairman of the party called the entire party apparatus and instructed them to move in the direction of political parties. That's just an example.
But
so the point I'm trying...
politics is free will.
I know, but the party is supposed to be an impartial umpire. We've not actually held our primary elections. So there are aspirants. The party is supposed to embrace everybody until a flag bearer comes up. The party is for everybody, but in a situation where the party is moving in a certain direction, I think there's something very, very wrong with that kind of posture.
Hopefully you resolve these issues before you, go into the contest, because a divided house will fall naturally. We will continue to follow this scene, especially, and all the other, because we promised you to bring some of the states we're talking about and heading to, the primaries as well. But we'll do that in the course of the subsequent programs. We'll be back again on Tuesday. Between now and then, do play your politics for the greater good. We've had Honorable Makpamala here. I couldn't pick you up on that imbroglio and your role in it, but we'll have opportunity another time. So, of course, if you want to play politics, of course, NTA is always gives you the opportunity, impartially to air your views as well and follow your journey from the podium to the people as well. That has been the program. We'll be back again on Tuesday. Do keep it logged on Nigerian Television Authority for news reviews, previews, and interviews. Bye-bye now.